Oviedo-LPA meeting for August 6, 2019. Can we get a roll call, please?
Yes. Present tonight we have Darrell Lopez, Lawrence Wright, Kristen Switland, Todd Sykes, Emma Reichert, and new member Art Weaver. And absent is Curtis Gashlin.
Thank you. And welcome, Art, to the meeting, to the board. If we can take a moment to silence our cell phones. Thank you. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes?
Chair,
Yes, that's right.
motion to approve the minutes from Tuesday, June 18th.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Art. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Public comment. Is anyone here to speak about public meetings? Is your guy on your way?
Now we can take a recess.
No, I'll close this. Is there public comments? We go down to public meetings. We have one tonight, I believe. Applicant somewhat is here, correct? You want to start? Well, you can drag it out a little bit.
I'm probably good
Is
at
that
that.
okay, Mr. Root? We can drag it out.
Good evening. My name is George Veely. I reside at 301 Carolyn Drive here in Oviedo, and I represent A. Duda and Sons. With me this evening is Erin Archie and her husband Clay, and they're obviously with A. Duda and Sons as well. And our consultant, Cass Servones of SK Consortium, is running a few minutes late, so we'll just proceed without him. What we're considering tonight is a revision to the PUD for the Andrews Crossing subdivision on Aloma Avenue there where the Duda headquarters are. This PUD was approved approximately 2 years ago, and we no sooner got the PUD approved and we were well into the final engineering when Duda organization decided to combine a couple of the parcels. So basically what we're looking at this evening, it's the same PUD, but we're combining parcels 4 and 5. Parcel 4 did allow, I think, about 20,000 square feet of office, something like that. And but we're converting that to townhomes. The developer agreement had a matrix in there for the conversion from one use to the other, so it's being done in accordance with the developer agreement. And the staff agreed that the developer agreement did not need to be changed, a comprehensive plan amendment did not need to be done, but we did need to revise the PUD. So really all we did was combine lots 4 and 5. And so what used to be an office lot 4 now became part of the townhome lot, which was 5. Of note, parcel 5 was permitted to have 70 townhomes, and we're not exceeding that number. Even though we're adding parcel 4 to it, we're keeping with the maximum of 70 townhome units out there. So it's a kind of a very nice product that the Dudas are planning for that. Now, in addition to combining those two lots, there were a few other issues, probably most notably the tree survey that we had done originally. It was probably about 10 years old. And between the growth of trees and several hurricanes and everything else, the tree survey was really not that accurate. So we agreed to go out and do a new tree survey. That was done. And so we had to go through all the tree calculations again. There were some issues about some buffering and landscaping, but we were able to, I think, resolve all those. The configuration of one of the retention ponds changed just very slightly because of the way we were laying out the townhomes required a slight change to the way the pond in Track D was configured. So that's really it in a nutshell. Yes, please.
So
So we are not revising the PUD, we are amending the PSP, the preliminary subdivision plan. So the the PUD has not been changed, the development agreement has not been changed. This is just an amendment to the PSP.
Okay, I misspoke. All these numbers, or letters, I should say. Yes, it's just the PSP.
All right. Why don't you,
So,
if you want to just sit down and we'll let the staff, and then when your guy.
yeah, we'll let the
you
staff
can
go,
pick
and
that
then
up.
we're here to answer any
Okay, with
questions you
with
might
the-
have.
with the board.
But it's really basically the same project we had before.
No objections.
A little less intense.
Does that work?
Does that sound okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you, George. Staff?
Thank you, and Teresa gave you my introduction. This is actually a
She took your
PSP,
just thunder away, right?
a PSP amendment, which is, as Mr. Veal said, is very similar to what you've already approved a couple of years ago. It is the same development agreement, it is the same PUD. So what they've done is they've gone into that preliminary subdivision plan, which was later approved after all that was approved. And they have taken a lot which was formerly designated for office, which was right next to the lot that was designated for townhomes. They've eliminated the office use and combined those two lots to make it a larger lot. So what happens is the townhomes are now spreading out on a larger piece of property, but the same maximum 70 townhome units would be on that property. Also on the east side of where the townhome units would be, there was a little bit of change, not much, in the total area of the drainage adjacent to the east. Those are the primary changes. We also had them, since it was more clear now how that part of the PSP would develop with the townhomes, and they've actually, another thing they've changed is the phasing, where the townhomes now would be the first phase, I believe. So since we knew that, we asked them to be more clear about the landscape buffering along the perimeters of the townhome, new townhome combined parcel, and they're putting in a 10-foot buffer with a wall. There were a couple different options for how that perimeter could have been done in the development agreement. That was one of the options. So we just asked them to be specific about which option that they were going to use. Those are the primary changes. I can talk more if you, since it's been a couple of years, about what the rest of the development is. It didn't change, but would you like me to kind of go through that as well?
What's the pleasure of the board? I mean, some of us have heard it.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
I would say, I mean, there was only a few of us on the board at the time, so I would say go through it. That would be my recommendation.
That would be mine as well. How's everybody else feel?
To go ahead and
Go ahead.
just give a brief description of the overall development.
Please.
So that is, it's located south of Mitchell Hammock. 918 feet was our estimate over there off of State Road 426. You have a location map that would have been in your packet. The overall property is 42.34 acres. It consisted of 4 commercial parcels, commercial and office originally. Now it's dropping down by 1 commercial office parcel, so there's still 3 commercial and office parcels in this development, and the 1 townhome parcel, which has now been enlarged. Then it had several tracts for recreation, open space, and drainage and conservation area. So those tracts, other than the minor change to the 1 drainage tract adjacent to the townhome parcel, those tracts have stayed the same, and the overall layout of the development has stayed the same. So that's what you have before you, is just the dropping of that 1 parcel, the spreading out of the townhomes, and the change to the drainage, and a few details like the landscaping on that townhome perimeter just being more specific. It wasn't a change, it was just specifying one of the options that was in the development agreement, and also the change to the order of the phasing, which the development agreement allowed you to do. That's not really a change, because the development agreement said that the phasing would be market-driven. They're just specifying what it would actually be in their plan. So that's my overall description. Parking requirements did not change. Essentially, nothing changed other than the combination of those 2 parcels.
All right, thank you. Is there any questions from the board?
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Mr. Wright.
you just call me Mrs.?
No, it's a Mr. White.
It sounds like Mrs., sorry.
No, sorry.
Um,
I could if you like.
No, thank you.
Okay.
I noticed on, Mr. Veely had mentioned that they redid the tree survey. It looks like for the most part, on the tree survey itself, that all the heritage trees were pretty much still maintained, except 2 were crossed out. I can ask them, or when they come back up, or whether or not they were destroyed, or if there was a, and George, I'm sorry, Mr. Veely, before you, just, can you refresh me on what the distinction is between our heritage trees and the difference in how we calculate?
Yeah, in the development code, Article 15, which is the tree replacement and protection section of the code, says that a heritage tree would be 30 inches or larger diameter at breast height in width. And the replacement requirements go up when you reach that threshold. There's replacement for anything 8 inches and above for what we call large trees. But then when you hit that 30-inch threshold, the replacement rate goes up quite a bit.
Thank you. However you want to finish staff comment, questions, or,
Go ahead.
no, he was going to come back up.
Go ahead.
I don't want to interrupt your flow.
Again, George Veely. With regards to the heritage trees, when we had the tree survey done, we actually had the city arborist come out and walk the property with some of the Duda people. And as it turned out, I think those 2 heritage trees in questions were heavily diseased and were actually in very poor condition. So the arborists agreed that I think there's a provision in the code that if trees are dead or dying or diseased, that they really don't count toward the tree survey. So
Okay.
those 2 heritage
That was
trees
my
were in
next
very
question,
bad
so-
condition.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? No. Nope. Do we want to hear from the development company? You do want to hear? Would you come up, sir? And kind of give us a more detailed, Mr. Veely gave us some an overview. If you would continue a little bit, because we went right into the staff presentation.
Sure. My name is Cass Subons with SK Consortium. We're planning civil engineering firm. Been helping do that since about 10 years ago. And things have changed over the years. I believe because of the market driven on this project. That's why we want to. The 2 acres parcel for the office is too small, and then also plus the desire to build a larger townhome. That's why we want to combine the 2 parcels together. The stormwater pond works out better because we have a bigger pond to hold stormwater better. And I think it's worked out for everybody from our standpoint, from an engineering standpoint, and we just maintain the under 70 units of the townhomes. And I think that is basically the change from the previously approved plan. Any other question, I'd be glad to answer.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
I have one question.
Yes, sir.
Obviously goes back a couple of years, but with all the recent development in that quadrant, in that corner on the southwest or southeast corner of Mitchell Hammock, did you guys look at was there any potential for cross-access connections between any of the other developments that are out there now?
No, we did not, since I think there's the development between us and the further up to at the corner of the intersection that it's not really letting us to tie into them.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from?
No.
I do have the same question for staff, though. Was there ever an opportunity that was looked at?
Go for it.
Mr. Hickey, again, because this was a couple of years ago, did staff at any time look up potentially any cross-access connections that were available?
No, I mean, I'll be quite honest with you. When I received the amendment, knowing that it had been previously approved, that's not an issue that I raised at all.
Okay.
Not a bad question at all, but
Well, I mean, again,
we didn't raise that
seems to
issue.
have been a topic of late of
Yes.
a lot of the stuff that we have, so, to me, it would have been a forward-thinking
I
idea.
see. Thank you.
Because that's one of my concerns also, because we've only have the one exit onto 436 there and nothing coming out any other way, so, two, I know there's two there, but I'm saying it's all going onto the one main artery there. So my next question is there any consideration in taking some over and around behind the property, over towards Mitchell Hammock?
Well, I don't think we can, if you look at the track E, that's a conservation area, track C is the park, so the only opportunity probably is where parcel 3 is on the map, on the plan. And I believe that above parcel 3, there's an existing stormwater pond or compensatory storage pond. So really, we're blocked by where to get to Mitchell Hammock. Sure.
With regard to cross-access, there may be an opportunity for cross-access at Aloma Avenue with the property abutting us to the north, but it would require the redevelopment of that property. But if we have retail, which we plan on the Aloma frontage, retail development, we would certainly encourage, and most retail developers do encourage cross-access. Now, in terms of trying to perhaps go out the back and up to Mitchell Hammock, it would really be very prohibitive. You're talking about muck that's 20 to 30 feet deep, land that's 3, 4, 5 feet below the 100-year floodplain. It's just prohibitive. I mean, there's no way to do compensating storage. There'd be tremendous amounts of demuck. What do you do with the muck? Fill, where's the fill come from? It's just astronomically expensive proposition. And I'm not sure if the risk, the benefit and cost is out of line, in my opinion.
Yeah, Mr. Chair. I mean, that's just going to be a recurring theme with us going forward, at least for me, is that, so while I understand where we're doing here and, what we approved and the purpose of this, that it really isn't creating anything new other than just, consolidating a couple parcels. If you do have an opportunity in, when you do other stuff, when you look at your other, future phases of this stuff, I think cross-access is an important access, is an important feature for us instead of having a single point of entry, especially in an unsignalized location. So.
Well, this will have a traffic signal at our main entrance. Now, and we do have a second right in, right out on Aloma, so we actually have two connections to Aloma. One will be a traffic signal, the other will be a right in,
There's a signal going in with this, with your...
it'll go in when it's warranted.
Yeah, we're looking more and more at cross-connecting properties opposed to just the property itself.
Yeah.
For future ideas.
Well, we should have done that when the ale house went in, but that's a difference. I'm a big fan of cross-access easements, and certainly internal to our thing, there'll be cross-access between the retail parcels and the office parcels. There will be ample cross-access.
Thank you.
Let me just add to it. Usually, when we come in with the development plan for that parcel, staff will ask for the cross-access easement, but we can only provide our end of it to the property line. When the other guy come in for development, they do the same thing.
Understood.
Yes, that's what I was going to add. When we have the site plan for those parcels, we will review, opportunities for cross-access easement. At this point, it's just the PSP. They are not, it's too early to require an easement.
It's never too early to...
Well, it's never too early to raise the issue. I agree with you. But we'll review based on the site plan. So site plans, then we have, a more concrete, proposal to be able to check what is possible.
My opinion, okay, in my opinion, is that, we, even at this level, we dedicate our retention tracks, we dedicate our park tracks, we dedicate our utilities for whether you need a lift station track. So dedicating an easement or a right-of-way track falls in the same again.
I agree. This one was not an obvious one.
No, I understand.
That
I'm making a point. I understand what we're here, but
And I am with you. I'm
We're trying to
always
make it-
looking for
we're going on
connections
the
and
record.
connectivity. Yes, that
I'm
is our
Pointing out to staff, pointing out that
concern as well, yeah.
it's an important topic for us, and I think
Yeah.
if it's in somebody's head now, maybe some way we'll get one guy that comes in and
Yeah,
does it. So,
I agree.
perfect, thank you.
Thank you, Teresa. Any other questions from our board? What is the board's pleasure?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Mr. Mark.
make a motion to recommend approval of, and this is, are we approving this? Or are we
Recommending.
recommending approval of resolution number 3784-19?
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Second, Ms. Owens. All those in favor say aye. Is there any discussion before I take a vote? No discussion? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The motion carries. Thank you. If this goes to council,
August, does it say 19th in the report, I believe?
okay? So
Yes.
you'll see it be there, council. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
We don't have any public hearing. Any discussion items from anybody? Mr. Group,
No, sir, not this evening.
you don't want to bring us an update on the trees anymore?
I can tell you that staff has had a very interesting, long discussion this afternoon, and we're still working on solutions or options.
Okay.
But the legislature didn't leave a lot of solutions or options, I can tell you that.
Understood. Future meeting?
Actually, we had I know we got an email from Dahlia that new land development code posted.
Yes.
Was there anything
LDC
significant?
That was updated to
It's
recent.
highlighted.
Supplement 10. The LDC was updated.
Yeah, there's crossovers and changes in when you log in. You'll see it. I recommend everybody take a quick look at that. Future meeting dates, Tuesday, August 20th, and Tuesday, September 3rd. Is anybody going to be out, traveling, school's back in session,
I
everybody's
am
here?
out of town on the 20th.
You're out of town on the 20th? Okay. Other than that, anything else? No?
We have an agenda for the 20th?
Is there
Do
anything
we
coming
have
for the
any items for
20th?
the 20th?
I expect one. I may not know that absolutely yet, but I do know that we're working on one. Should I talk about the specific one?
No.
We need,
I mean, it's something that may happen if the documents are ready by that time, but we're not positive.
Okay. And that, is there a motion to adjourn?
so maybe.
Okay, second. All right. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.
Heavy lifting tonight.